Alright, so quick video. We get asked a lot about when you should replace your strings, waxing your strings, and all that good stuff. So let's start with waxing your string, okay? People ask frequency, how often you should wax it. It kind of personal preference at that point. Depends on the environment you're in. When I was in Guam, it's really humid out there. You want to keep it nice, get that sealed up, keep the moisture out of there from causing any kind of issues. Out here in Texas, you got a lot of sand and dirt and everything, so you're getting your string coated and all that stuff. So regardless of where you're at in location, one thing I always suggest is remove the old wax off the string. And you can do that by getting yourself some serving, doesn't matter what diameter or anything, just for stripping wax. You can go hit your local pro shop and ask them for a small section, probably oblige. Get a little section of it. What you want to do, make sure I'm in the camera, is go around it one time like that, okay? Now this string is not on a bow, this is rigged up to my bow press just to put a little tension on it. And once you got it around there, go ahead, put some tension and slide it down that string, okay? And what you're doing is removing all that, trying to get this to focus here, all that old wax. So in that old wax, what you got in there is all your dirt and all your junk when you're out in the woods that gets attached to it. So if you try to go ahead and just keep putting that wax on, it's going to act like sandpaper and start rubbing on them string fibers. You don't want that to happen. That can actually shorten the lifespan of your string. So any sections that aren't served is what you want to do. Just get your serving, go around it, and just strip all that old wax off. So you don't have to be extremely vigorous with it. You ain't got to saw your string up and down. Just pass it down a few times, a little bit of tension, clean all the old wax off that's serving. So once you've got it all off, you can actually look at your string and start seeing if you got, I call it the fuzzies. You have little fuzzies sticking off your string, which is just normal wear and tear. It ain't the end of the world. But if you see any individual strands hanging off, that's when you're definitely going to want to replace your string. So the way these strings are, I'm trying to always make sure I'm in the camera here for y'all. Go ahead and separate these two. So they're all made up of individual strands, okay? So take a little more attention off this. Just like that. Alright, so on your bowstring, dull broadhead, okay? Put a little more, let's go ahead and tighten that back up. Alright, so if you ever notice on your bowstring, you see something like that. Try to move this camera in here some. Okay, you start seeing that, change your strings. Do not shoot your bow with it looking like that. This thing can come apart on you, and it's not fun. It ain't pretty. Somebody can get hurt. And then changing your strings, like I said, you see these, change it automatically. If you're only shooting your bow, during bow season in your home state, less than 100 shots each season, you can go a few years. Just always keep checking your string, make sure you're not getting any kind of major discoloration. These stretch over time, so even when you're not shooting your bow and it's in your case, they're going to stretch. So take it to your local pro shop, or look up your specs and everything, get your measurements, make sure your axle to axle is correct, make sure your draw link's correct, and everything's within specs. Cam timing, cam synchronization, look at all that. If you start noticing you're getting out of specs, you can bring it to your shop, and if your strings are good, what we can do is put a few twists in them, bring it all back into spec, and still be good for that season. I do, at a minimum, even if you're only shooting your bow during season, every 2 years I recommend changing your strings. I'm shooting every day, so I'm changing my strings once a year, and I'm putting well over 2,000 arrows minimum a year on mine. But if you guys have any kind of questions, this is just a brief 5-minute video. Want to know more about string care, types of wax to use, polymeric string fluid, and all the good stuff out there, just shoot us a message and I'll help you out the best we can. Alright, y'all have a good one.